What's up, guys? Welcome back. I wanted to talk about personal recruiting. So I just flew back from one of our regional meetings in the Northeast. And of course, we do these, every 3 months in Dallas. We've been doing a bunch of these. And I had the opportunity to fly out to Philadelphia and spend time with some of the best people out there. And I wanted to touch base on personal recruiting, short and simple, but how important it is in the amount of leverage that it gives you. Welcome back to Unlocked. If you need help with personal recruiting, if you are somebody that maybe you come from that and you never applied to the job you're in or the career you're in, somebody just referred you, you probably know what I'm talking about, how important it is. But I wanted to touch base on it. Please share this with a friend or click subscribe, maybe share it with your manager or with somebody else. First of all, personal recruiting should be incentivized. I think our industry right now has a 16% more completion or success ratio when people are referred by somebody that already previously works at the job. 16% is a big number, especially when you're thinking about thousands of people that are applying every week, even more than that over the course of a month or of a year. Also, I saw over 35 speakers yesterday go up on stage, and by far the best speakers were all these kids. Lucas and his brother and the guy that hired him, they're all family. And I realized, you know what, when somebody comes into the job, and why is that personal recruiting is so important, is because when somebody comes into the job from your brother, your family, your friend, they know all the negatives and they also know all the positives. So people are very, very clear about the opportunity, but they also understand all the negatives and they made a decision to accept those, and they're not scared, which builds their resilience, builds their rejection muscles so much faster at the beginning, because there's nothing that they don't know that's negative. Usually most of the turnover, most of the first week, second week, third week churn in your employees comes from an unexpected negative or comes from a maybe poor expectation set when it comes to negatives. Nobody's tripping about getting more money. Nobody's not excited or not happy when they have a positive that's unexpected. Is usually the negative. I think personal recruiting is something we should all focus on more. We should have, and again, just like anything else, it works in volume. So you should be looking at how many people am I attempting to personally recruit into my team over the course of the last week. I want to get X amount of numbers, X amount of names, and then you also want to look at, do I need this to take time away from my calendar? Not really. You can think about the person at the gas pump that you already putting gas in. You can think about the person that gives you your coffee at the drive-thru or at the coffee place. You can think about the security guard at the mall. You are meeting people always. And then maybe the other thing you're thinking is, well, what do I say? Before I say anything, I first want to identify, is this a person that I'd like to work with? Is there any signs that they work really hard? Maybe it's their third job of the day. Maybe it's their second job. Maybe they come from a sports background. Maybe they were a captain. I first want to identify, is this the person that automatically is going to really make me excited to work with? And number two, I'm always looking for an open mind. Your mind only works, it's like a parachute. It only works if it's open. And I used to be very scripted around personal recruiting or what to say. Hey, for that, I can't answer. You would have to do an interview. And I go 100% with my gut. I do believe, and you should read Magic of Thinking Big if you're not sure what I'm talking about, there are 3 diseases of failure that the book identifies. Number 1, procrastination. Anything you can start today, start it tomorrow. Number 2, excusitis, making excuses. And number 3, detailitis. The person that wants to know all the details about all the things is really rooted in an insecurity for failure, which usually doesn't lead to, very much a successful trait per se. So when people want to know a lot of things, I'll tell them, but it's usually detailitis. It's usually not going to last that long. When somebody is very, very motivated off the gate to where it's almost unrealistic how excited they are, also a red flag. Again, I'm just playing the numbers and the volume. If I'm talking to somebody very close to me, like my best friend, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, I might have a different approach. They might know already what it is. And I can be very straight up and honest. And again, I always offer the chance because again, their mind will only work if it's up. If they're open-minded, they'll probably accept. And if they're not, they'll probably stay in their safe, comfort, secure spot. Personal recruiting has really changed our life. I look at all the managers we have, and a lot of them actually have been personally recruited. They never applied to the job. Their success ratio to complete the training is way higher. And I would encourage you, if you're on a fast track, you're trying to grow quicker, you're trying to grow your organization quicker, your team quicker, you need to find people around you that already have ambition, and you need to present them with the opportunity. Hopefully that helps, and we'll see you at the next one.